How's it going, folks? How's it going? You already know the waves, and for sure, you already know the vibes. It is Zachariah White, a.k.a. King Big Daddy Drip, back at it like it's nothing with this drip and the sauce, because I am the boss. I am back. We are here. Happy good day to every single one of you ladies and gentlemen out there in the world. All right. I hope y'all are having a superb and a spectacular Saturday on this go around. And of course, the internal sphere and the external sphere over here, we have nothing but good luck, good fortune, and blessings, positivity, just anything beneficial and positive, like love, respect, courtesy, like anything on the good side of the spectrum, man. Listen, that is what we are praying for the heavenly kingdom, for the kingdoms and the empires that we got, and for all of my brothers and sisters, every single one of y'all out there, whether y'all are watching this, whether y'all are listening to it or not. Again, we prayed it out to every single one of y'all. But actually, I almost messed around and messed up the intro. I was about to say this was an episode of the News of the People. I get so caught up in doing that, but no. This is gonna be a little different. All right, because I know that I've been trying to get more into the spirit of doing more episodes of podcasts. So I tell you this, this is another episode of the Royal Hot Table, baby. Of course, with the king himself. All right, but nonetheless, though, I'm gonna say this, right? Because in about 20 minutes or so, I'm about to get ready to slide out with the squad, and we about to go have some good dinner. We about to have some good grub. I'm not gonna be able to stay too long. But there was one particular question that I wanted for us to talk about and discuss with each other. And of course, y'all, stop being so scared, man. Whenever I post this, y'all make sure that y'all go down in the comment section or hit me up in my DMs and let me know what y'all think of this question, man. All right? But I do have something in mind. So we'll talk a little bit about of something. But nonetheless, though, before we even get started into the episode, y'all know, all right, I'm going to just go ahead and pass along these encouraging words, all right? This is a little something, of course, I titled the Royal Acknowledgement. And, of course, I mention it in all of my episodes of the Royal High Table. But I just want for y'all to know that, like, everybody truly is a king, queen, god, goddess, emperor, empress, boss, within their own right. Everybody has their higher form, higher version of themselves, all right? And also on top of that, everybody has their special niche, their special niches or whichever, they're things that like in this particular arena, in this particular thing, like, this is their stuff, it provides them comfort, it provides them, fulfillment. This is truly home for them. All right. Now, some folks know what that thing is. Other folks are still trying, some other folks may still be trying to figure it out. Some folks may have one, some folks may have multiple. It don't matter. All right. Everybody still has that. And of course, over here, we acknowledge that, we respect that, we love that, man. And of course, the overall intention behind this is really for us to stress that to y'all, so y'all know this, all right? And of course, man, regardless, bro, y'all make sure that I know I got on my actual crown, and of course I got my crown Scully on, but it's really so that, like, I'm saying this so that y'all make sure that y'all every single day, y'all, whether it be your emotional crown, your physical crown, your mental crown, your psychological crown, your actual crown, like physical crown, it don't matter what it is, y'all make sure that y'all wear that loud and proud for yourself, like who and what you guys are, who and what you guys have been through, your guys' life, your guys' journey, man, and y'all make sure that y'all do that for who and what y'all represent, all right? And y'all definitely wear it loud and proud so that everybody knows it, all right? But all in all, though, enough of me being all over the place with this stuff, man. I'm gonna go ahead and, though this song Rush, all right, big shout outs to Ira Star, all right, because this song has been on replay for me. I love this one. I don't even listen to music, I guess to a whole lot of music nowadays, but all in all, though, I definitely do rock with this song. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. And we're going to go ahead and get into this particular question, right? Now, this question that I did happen to find, by the way, big shout outs to helloaudio.fm, all right? Because, like, I mean, I've sort of kind of already had some conversations with myself about this. And, of course, I'm going to have another conversation with myself. But just seeing the landscape of just, I'm gonna say, just how people in general are treating one another in the world. Definitely, this is a key topic in mind that we need to talk about. Now, granted, again, I may not necessarily spend too much time talking in this particular episode, but nonetheless, though, we gonna get this pie. We still gonna get into it, man. We gonna get into it, but like, the topic that I wanted to talk about was love, right? That was the one topic that I wanted to talk about. And essentially, the question, I'm gonna say this, the question that really stuck and resonated with me, even they got a list of them just relating to love, but number 6 on this website is what caught my attention, and essentially what it says is, how has your view on love and relationships evolved? All right, now of course, when like, even when we think of love, right, and we think of relationships, of course, the first thing that's come to mind is romantic. All right, that is definitely a key one. Some folks may argue the key one, whenever we're having this sort of discussion. But also, I think it's also important that, like, we think even outside of that. All right, because it is, well, there are, like, there's plenty of types of relationships. There's relationships, I'll say, relationships with entities, relationships with our family members, relationships with our friends, acquaintances, all that other sort of jazz. And overall, I'll say, how has my view on love and relationships evolved? That is very interesting question, and also I'd love for y'all to also make sure that y'all leave your guys' response down in the comment section or hit me up in my DMs, and also feel free to respond to what it is that I'm about to say. But now, because honestly, I'm really trying to dig back to think what my perspective on love and relationships was back when I was a kid. I know I'll say this. I didn't really do well. I'm not gonna say I hadn't done a whole lot of thinking, but I think in terms of like the love and relationships thing, it's funny because I guess this is one change that I happen to know from like back then to now, right? I remember, like, in when I was a kid, I mean, like, damn, it's funny. Like, I know this. Okay, this is okay. I'll pick one point, right? I won't even say a kid. I'll say, like, back when I was, like, in middle school. I remember it was crazy because I was like on this. I was in this particular spot, I was in this particular pocket where, I was like, man, listen, I'm not trying to get married. I'm not trying to be in no relationship. I just want to, like, I just want to grind. I just want to go through and live life and do this and do that or whichever. Now, granted, I mean, it's hell. I guess, even as I'm going through taking a look at everything, I can sort of see why that was. Like, of course, I know all of what led up to my life even before then, and I'm certain that we'll get into that at some point. But I know that back in middle school, that was the perspective, and even throughout I'll say the first year in high school, I was like that. But then, I'm not gonna lie, I sort of started to shift a little bit once I started I guess once I started getting some a certain kind of attention. But now, I'll say, like, I think that, even back, like, when I was a kid, regardless of where the love and where the relationship was coming from, I'll say, hell, if I could, like, I'm gonna use an analogy. When I was in middle school, I was, and that first year in high school, I was focused solely on, like, iso ball, if you will, iso ball, right? And now, and especially, as I'm going through high school, going through college, and I'll say especially, like, now, I'm not gonna hold you. Bro. Listen, I am open to collaboration, cooperation. I'm trying to like, I'm definitely, let's just say, into to team ball, if you will, right? And this is what I mean. Like, of course, like in the analogy, I'm sure for all of my, for basketball fans out there, or just those knowledgeable, y'all know iso ball. Just to give me the ball, everybody get the hell out my way. I'm gonna go through, sauce it up, and do whichever. And I guess translation into to what my mindset was. Again, like I said, I was just focused on making sure that I got the grades, making sure that I did everything that I need to set myself up to have a pretty good future. To go off to college. Get a get whichever jobs that, or careers that I was looking to get, so that I could be rich and I could just live my life. But over, like I'll say, just over each year, I do more thinking than I did in the previous year. All right, and I know that after a certain point, it was like, I'm not gonna hold you, that like it sounds good in theory. And I'll say it's definitely an improvement from how life was, coming up until that point. But also at the same time too, there's always gonna be something missing. There's always gonna be something missing. And I just realized that, though having like yourself in order is a key thing, but like it really, like, in order to like not be miserable, in order to like that particular piece of, I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna grind, I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna do this and that. That's the part that I feel like that'll, like, when looking down, looking further down the line, I'll be able to sit back and be like, okay, I've got no regrets in terms of how hard I worked, in terms of, me setting a goal for myself and not and accomplishing, all that other sort of jazz. But there's still like it's possible to have everything but still be miserable. All right, and that's because still, like, when it comes to like a team is important for a number of different things, man. But yeah, hell, in order for one to even get to that point where one is truly successful, you do need other folks outside of yourself. But bro, I'm telling you, those like good relationships, just in general, I don't care if it's with a significant other. I don't care if it's with, I don't care if it's with your friends. I don't care if it's with, like your doctors, your health officials, the legal officials, your attorneys. It, like, all that stuff really plays a factor. I feel like when it comes to happiness, when it comes to satisfaction, fulfillment, all that. So, more and more, just as I keep going through the years, and even as I keep going through the days, I really, realize how important that is. And especially realizing how important that is, I've also, like, of course, as I my mindset switched from iso ball to trying to be more inclusive, more incorporative, and just be more open, right? And more, I'll say, inviting, welcoming. Of course, you come across like many other folks like that, and also I'll say this too: big shout outs to God, big shout outs to all of the heavenly kingdom. But of course, folks know about the different commandments, and I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I know all of, like, I think I do know a lot of them. But everybody knows about the love, the love your neighbor as you would love thyself. Everybody knows of that particular thing. But I feel like that, like, a lot of folks are clearly, I'll say this. This is not to make it a religious religious conversation, but I think it's very evident that folks aren't playing by that particular role. Like, folks aren't playing the game with that particular setting activated, if that happens to make sense for y'all. All right, I feel like, whether, like, especially in the, like, the romantic relationship role, or just in any type of role, it seems like it's cool. I'm not even like it's this weird thing where it seems like it's cool to only do it for yourself, and also for the folks who, like, are coming in with, like, the best heart, or the best of intentions, or like with a good spirit. Because there's so many folks playing selfishly, unless one happens to come across other folks that's also playing on the same type of time, the same type of playing field. The hey, listen, I wanna, these are the things that I'm looking to get. Hey, but also at the same time, I want for you to get what it is that you trying to get up out of this thing as well. So we gonna work together, and we gonna both make sure that we happy. A lot of folks aren't playing it like that. A lot of folks are only playing it off of, this is what I want. I don't give a fuck what you want, or if you get what you want, or I don't even care if I gotta get, in order for me to get to what I gotta get to, you gotta not have what you want. You know, like a lot of folks are playing it off of that, and we see that in so many different respects, whether it be, you know, like the look, like take relationship for instance, right? I'm speaking very general, but like that we see a whole lot of examples. That's why you got, you know, folks on the male side, yo, like get ripped, get jacked, you know, get you listen, get your body in shape, get your money in shape, you know, go out and get the passports, all the these other different places or whichever, and yo, you gonna have, you know, a whole lot of girls, this and that, but you know, all that other sort of stuff. And then also you got the just equivalent, you know, like I'll say well, it's like city boy activity versus city girl activity. You know, get that head, get that bread, and leave, or whichever. You know, it's really I'll say it sucks. It's real pitiful. It's unfortunate. There's a lot of negative things that come to mind when you think of it like that. And honestly, again, like there's I because this particular conversation could be taken and extrapolated to so many different other fields, because of course we see that in politics, man. Of course we see that in politics. That's sort of that I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. That explains a lot of it explains a good bit of why wars and why conflicts happen. It explains a lot of even for us within the United States. It explains a good bit for why, you know, for much of why, hell, the representatives and the Republicans don't mesh, and you know, like for the most part they don't mesh. You know, so it's crazy, man. But I'll say like that's one particular respect that that my view on love and relationships has evolved. Before, I'll say just due to tough circumstance, in which that's another reason, because even as I see that folks are playing the game a certain type of way, I understand why, because at a certain point I was also, we shared the same mindset, all right? In the sense that, yo, there was a whole lot of fucked up and jacked up things that ended up happening to me, just like, you know, that ended up happening to a lot of y'all that's out there watching, I'm sure. And because of that, it's one of those things where it's like, man, listen, I just got to go through, I just got to get mine. I just got to, it's a particular sort of strategy, I guess a preservation strategy, if you will, just to make sure that at the very least that you're all right. But, you know, even as you know, keep going and keep going and keep going, you know, though, like I'll say a survival tactic, but also, again, man, if you know, survival is good for survival. Like that's the thing. Survival tactics, preservation tactics is good for survival. It's good for preservation. But there's a difference between that, and there's a difference between actually living. There's a difference between it's almost similar, like the relationship between like a surviving and a living is almost as big of a thing between like a listening and a hearing. All right, one of them is like okay, like I know somebody speaking or whichever. Another one's like, or like I can repeat what you said. The other one's like, oh, yo, I heard, like, yo, no, I definitely got what you said. This is what you mean, and I don't even have to use the same words that you use. So it's you know, I guess that's another thing. A lot of folks, I think a lot of that pause. I'm gonna make this, and I feel like it's a pretty big statement, but a lot of folks is trying to survive. A lot of folks is doing their damnedest to survive. But folks have got to realize that, of course, we could go through and survive and last and last and last and last, but y'all also got to make sure that y'all keep in mind that there's certain, I ain't gonna say as the higher or lower, but there's other shit, like there's something, like as far as like love and relationships, and making sure that we treat one another with respect, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a friendship, whether it be, you know, brothers, sisters, siblings, you know, it don't matter what it is, like it's that particular respect that, like, again, it takes you into that field of now we living. We doing good, man. So, you know, all in all, I guess that's just where my mind's at when it comes to that particular question, man. Honestly, hell, it's one of those things where it could leave one being very, very skeptical. And part of me, if I happen to be a little vague and I'm all over the place, but you know, it's it really can leave you being skeptical with how many people happen to share this view, and not only that, how widely promoted and widely spread that it happens to be amongst social media. But nonetheless, though, man, it's that just having the thought that I had of man, listen, bro, in everyone's truly best interest, man, it ain't the best move for me for anyone to just act completely 100% selfishly. Hell, I guess too much of anything is a bad thing. But pardon me, y'all, I'm all over the place, man. But honestly, this is a particular question that I'm going to do some more thinking on, and this is something that I'm gonna bring back. It may be the next episode, it may not, but I definitely love to do a good bit more thinking on this, though. But I will say, your boy does have to go through and slide out. All right, so I know, again, relatively quick episode. Feels like, you know, I know that I typically tend to go for hours and hours and hours and hours. But what I'm gonna say is this, though, man. I do want to thank y'all so much, of course, for pulling up and listening to me while y'all did. Y'all definitely let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. Definitely, y'all can like this video up, like this episode up, man. I don't care what the platform is. Share this with any and everybody. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow my social media pages, and if y'all are on Instagram, all the other social media pages that I'm gonna go through and tag, because y'all know I'm tagging my brothers and sisters that's a part of the external sphere. See, they got a whole bunch of stuff going down, man. But the most important thing, though, again, well, I'll say the most important thing is y'all make sure that y'all love and respect each other. That's one. But definitely make sure that y'all stay tuned, stay tapped in, and stay locked in, because the juice over here never stops dripping. All right? All right. I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace, be easy, and as always, y'all stay blessed up.